Let's yap out relationships real quick. I think like all types of relationships are equally important. Yeah, it's like really cool to have someone to like make out with or like talk to about anime or sports. But sometimes you also just want to like hug your dad, you know? I think like with platonic relationships, it's really good to have someone who can critique you and like tell you things that will hopefully make you a better person without any strings attached, right? Like this person honestly just wants to see you winning in life, you know? And there are no like underlying threats like, oh, I need to treat him good because he's going to take care of me when I'm older, or if you're mad, I'm going to withhold certain from you, you know? We're friends because you can tell me something I don't want to hear, but I can still be your friend because I know you're telling me for my own good, you know? And I can date your mom and we'll still be on talking terms, right? I feel like people diminish the importance of like a really good friend. Like on TikTok, I saw this thing. It was like the anime Naruto, right? Where it was an edit and the poster was kind of saying like, you can't tell me these two weren't lovers, right? And I commented, I was basically like, that's cool, but I think it kind of diminishes the importance or the significance of their platonic friendship by saying they were romantically attracted to each other. And I got a comment under my comment basically calling me homophobic. I was never deep into like all the shipping culture stuff, but I at least acknowledge a good relationship, a good necessary relationship when it needs to be there. The beauty of the friendship between Naruto and Sasuke was that there were no strings attached. Like, they really didn't need to go as hard as they did for each other. And it goes to show how important a good friendship can be. Because, yeah, there are no hugs, there are no kisses, there is no, like, romantic reward waiting for Naruto, you know? He did all this for someone he considers his brother, his friend, you know? Like, not a lover, which would make a lot more sense to a lot more people. Like, oh, this is someone that you love that type of way, you know? Someone that you've made yourself vulnerable to, right? The beauty of this friendship was that it was even kind of one-sided, you know? Putting yourself on the limb for someone who, like, you don't need to do that for, you know? And I understand, like, representation, but, like, there's representation and then there's, like, trying to justify the way you live. So I don't see a good, like, gay couple being, like, two characters who have never portrayed, like, signs of being gay, like Naruto and Sasuke. I see it in a show like Steven Universe, where, like, 99% of that is just, like, you know, and they do it perfectly, where they show all different types of couples and like the dynamics that they may have to face. And that's perfect and that's beautiful and there's significance there. But if you're just like forcing that sort of like rhetoric on characters, it's kind of like what they did with Deku from My Hero Academia, right? Like they just completely changed who he originally was supposed to be. Even like the author is like, this is not what my intentions were. You know, it's like, and you can do whatever you want, I guess it's fiction, but like still it kind of, in my opinion and in my eyes, diminishes what a good friendship can really do to a person, or at least for a person. For like paternal relationships or like familial, is that a real word? Familial, that sounds like a real word. Familial relationships, these are like the most important relationships in our lives, right? Like the relationship with our parents. They shape how we see like the world around us and how we end up treating other people, you know, and how we end up raising our kids, if that's something that you want to do. In an ideal world, most families are like raised around unconditional love. But sadly, we don't live in an ideal world, and a lot of people are very imperfect. And a lot of love that a lot of people receive from like their family is very conditional, or at least a little bit conditional. And this can affect how people view themselves, how they see their worth, how they see their achievements in life, and how they decide what to do with the rest of their lives. Which is why we have to take time to appreciate what type of dynamic we have, or at least acknowledge what type of relationship we have with our parents and our like families, and give other people grace because we never know what type of home life they're coming from. I'm sure we're all familiar with blood is thicker than water, but the full saying is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. And this also goes to accentuate that significance in platonic relationships, where the family you make as a person who has been through their life experiences is more significant than the family you were born into. Which is food for thought. A lot of people do believe that genuinely, regardless of how your family may have treated you in your developmental period or ages, they are more important than any friend that you could make in this life. And finally, romantic relationships. I think the concept of like finding someone who you spend the rest of your life with is awesome, obviously. That is when they're the right person. A lot of people reduce romantic relationships to what can this person do for me in this moment? When it should be, I'm so happy I get to be a part of your growth as a person and vice versa. And I know some people are going to be like, growth, you shouldn't try to change me. But that's a sad concept. Like imagine staying the way you are now, but like for the rest of your life, never learning any new talents, trying new hobbies, becoming more open-minded. Our imperfections are what makes us perfect because it means we have room to grow. You shouldn't get mad that someone wants to invest in you unless they have like ulterior motives. In which case, yeah, stay very far away from them actually. If they just derive joy from you being a fully functioning individual, that's a beautiful thing. And there are lines that can be drawn and like rules to set, establishing what types of changes a person is trying to make or what you're trying to see in another person, whether you see it as too controlling, whether you're trying to do something impossible relatively. But those are things that you communicate with your partner, who is hopefully an understanding person and hopefully is willing to change for you, but more importantly, for themselves. I'm going to end it there, but tell me what you think. This is my first animated video with like my audio, my voice. Hopefully you like it. If you do, leave a like, comment, maybe subscribe. And tell me what other types of videos you want me to see. If you like yap sessions, it would be nice to know. Or if people need like advice and stuff, if you like the format of the video, if there's something you want to see changed, I'd love to hear any advice right now. But that's all. Have a good one.